Written at the beginning, the protagonist in the first few chapters of this book has just traveled and has not yet adapted to the combat style of Ultrawarriors, so it may not seem powerful. However, after writing about it, the protagonist becomes particularly powerful. We kindly ask the audience to be patient and see the rest. What kind of sparks will be ignited by the mysterious unknown Ultraman Mirek? Let's wait and see. Feng Yuan. You're right, I listen to you. Zhuxing Tuan. You, come and try my Jeep training method. Evil alien. Mirek, you're not even worthy of being an Ultraman. What kind of hero is a surprise attack? Mirak. Is this a surprise attack? It's called tactics. Do you understand tactics? You. Mirek is really a talent. He speaks well and fights fiercely. He's a big shot. No system, leaning towards a humorous style. Chapter 1. The Encounter of Fate. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Oh, are you awake? This was the first sentence you heard when he woke up, and the scene he saw when he opened his eyes was very shocking. Oh. Ultraman. Before Yu's eyes was a silver giant with obscure symbols on its arms, resembling the image of Ultraman in a TV drama. Coupled with the deep blue-colored timer, Yu once doubted whether he had not woken up yet. Hiss. It hurt so much, Yu pinched his thigh, and the pain coming from his leg made him realize that he had not dreamed. You, who are you? He stood up slowly, looking at the unfamiliar scene around him, feeling a bit uncomfortable for a moment. Have I also become one of the travelers? You remember the last second when I was still at home watching the latest chapter of The Light Wilderness, I suddenly felt a strong sense of dizziness, and when I woke up, it was like this now. First time we met, my name is Mirek, Mirek Ultraman. Mirek replied with a guilty expression on his face, I'm really sorry that you were implicated for some reason. A bit hasty crossing. Can I still return to my world? Yofu asked urgently, I'm sorry, my strength is severely damaged now, so I can't send you back to your original world for now, Mirek responded softly. For a long time, you looked at this unfamiliar world with some dementia, but in the end, he also accepted the status quo. After all, he didn't know who his parents were from a young age before traveling, and was adopted by an orphanage since childhood. He didn't have much concern for that world. System. Don't I have a system? You remember that the system should not be a must-have tool for travelers. What are you thinking? Your biggest system is me. Okay, I'm disappointed. It seems that I'm not the male lead of Shuangwen. Where is this? You looked at the gradually crumbling earth not far away, magma had gradually surged onto the earth, and the world was gradually collapsing. L-77 planet, the magma people have successfully destroyed this place, Mirek said in a deep voice, capturing a brief sense of desolation in his eyes with a keen eye on the side. L-77, Magma Star Man, Leo Ultraman. You blurted out and unexpectedly came into this world. This world not only has Leo Ultraman, but also the Kingdom of Light, the Ultraman brothers, and other things that you had only seen in TV dramas. But what happened to Mirek Ultraman's regretful gaze just now? It feels like this Ultraman is so mysterious. You started watching Ultraman from a young age, and he has watched all Ultraman tokusatsu from Showa to the new generation. It is obvious that there is no character like Mirek Ultraman. As if sensing Yu Yu's confusion, Mirek slowly explained, I come from a world you are unfamiliar with, but there are also Ultraman's works in that world, but my world doesn't have the Kingdom of Light and Leo. Can he read the mind? You widened your eyes, wondering why even his inner voice, Mirak, could know that this person was so terrifying. In fact, I forgot to turn off my telepathy. I can hear what you're thinking. You better forget. Okay, you awkwardly replied. At that moment, he really wanted to find a crack in the ground to penetrate, but then he thought that since L-77 was about to be destroyed, wouldn't it be very dangerous here? Do we need to leave here quickly? You suggested. The earth is cracking more and more seriously. But let's go find Leo Ultraman first. He's probably fighting hard against the Magma-Astrians right now. Okay, let's go then. You nodded and said, "You're the big brother, we all listen to you. Who would call you Ultraman?" However, seeing that Mirek had not moved for a long time, you looked to the side in confusion. What's going on, buddy? Didn't he say to go find Leo Ultraman? But there is no one on the side anymore. Wait, how could such a big Ultraman disappear out of thin air? Isn't it supposed to be one heart and one mind? Why should we start from chaos and give up? Sigh, the couple were originally birds in the same forest, and they flew separately in the face of a disaster. Hello. I'm here. At this moment, you realized that there was something similar to a Zeta sublimator on his arm, and the sound was coming from inside. What are you thinking? You bastard. Mirek said loudly with a black line all over his head. This Ultraman was so friendly last second, why is the contrast so big now? Cough cough, is it pressing here? To conceal embarrassment, you looked at the other button and quickly asked. After receiving a positive response from Mirek, you excitedly pressed the shape-shifting device. In an instant, you noticed that the surrounding scenery had become very small, and he had transformed into Mirek Ultraman. A silver-white giant standing up to 60 meters tall stands on the collapsed planet L-77. Don't be blind, hurry up and go find Leo. Just as you was still immersed in the excitement of his first transformation, Mirak's voice came to his ear. After being interrupted by this loud shout, you suddenly found himself in a small room, looking at the world in front of him from a movie-like perspective. Forget it, I forgot it's your first time transforming, let me control it. You watch and study hard, Mirek's voice echoed in the small room. Okay, nod your head slowly. Although you haven't had enough of the addiction to transformation yet, it's important now. Let's try it again next time. After all, which boy can resist the charm of transformation? But how do we find Leo Ultraman? L-77 planet is so big. You looked at the land gradually buried by lava and asked in confusion, it's impossible to search aimlessly. If we continue to search like this, we may not even be able to find L-77 if it explodes. Feel the power of light. Mirek quickly accelerated his flight speed. You still have something to learn. The surrounding scenery instantly became extremely blurry. Old driver, it's too sudden. I'm a bit airsick. Suppressed the urge to vomit, although a bit airsick, you exclaimed that it was satisfying. This is his first time soaring in the sky, it's really cool. Magma-Astrian, you bastard, I can't spare you. At this moment, Leo, who was cherished by Ru and Mirek, was engaged in a fierce battle with Magma-Astrian. Leo Ultraman, your father has been defeated by us, and you can't protect the L-77 planet either. Let's bury him with the L-77 planet. The Magma Star Man looked at Leo fiercely. The Prince of L-77 does not have the abilities of his father, he is just a fool who has gained light for the first time. I originally planned to play with him, but now that this planet is about to explode, there's no need to waste time. Take Leo Ultraman and capture him immediately. I should also retreat, and that will be a big achievement. Promotion and salary increase are no longer dreams. Leo Ultraman, game time is over. Get ready to become my prisoner, said the Magma Star with a playful smile. Leo angrily punched the Magma Suns, but their speed noticeably increased compared to before, and this punch failed. Oh, it's too slow. The Magma Star punched Leo in the back, and Leo fell heavily to the ground before he could react. The bereaved dog, the Magma Sun, walked towards Leo, mocking him. Although Leo really wanted to kill the enemy in front of him, he was already powerless. Is it about to end under the knife? Stay AO. Chapter 2. Picking up a wild Leo at the beginning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mirak, do you think that's Leo Ultraman? You had adapted to the dizziness caused by high-speed flight, and now he saw a red giant lying on the ground in a state of embarrassment. Not far away, an ugly alien is walking towards Leo step by step with a knife in hand. It's so ugly, just like what I saw on TV. You looked at the Magma Star Man curiously and said disdainfully, "Indeed, the Ultraman warrior is even more handsome." "You're quite good at praising people," Mirek replied, "don't be distracted when preparing for battle. I don't need to fight anymore." You said calmly, but Leo seems to be unable to withstand it. "Let's hurry up. You should be able to deal with just the Magma Star people, right?" "Oh, this kind of opponent is still 100,000 years away," Mirek responded confidently, "look at me taking him." "Who?" The sudden sound caught the Magma Astrian off guard, but before he could find the source of the sound, a Mirak fell from the sky. Mount Tytops. Before the Magma Sun could react, a severe pain came from his back. From Leo's perspective, a sudden silver giant was pressing down on the enemy that had previously plunged him into a fierce battle. Is it a friendly army? But not all of them, Father. Just as Leo was speculating about the identity of the silver giant, the battle on the side was already coming to an end. "Mirek, your combat style is really unique. This is a bit different from the Ultraman warriors I've seen on TV. Why don't you mention that Wuda started a surprise attack?" "Humph, this is called strategy. In times of emergency, we need to use extraordinary means," Mirek said sternly as he locked the neck of the Magma Sun. "Answer my question honestly, I can make you less painful." I said. This Magma Star person obviously lacks backbone and immediately turns against the tide when he sees the situation is not right. "Why are you the only one here? Tell me the truth." Cough, cough. "After killing Darius Ultraman, my companion has successfully activated the detonation device of L-77 and taken Astra away." "Oh. Have all the other Magma Suns retreated? What is your mission?" "Yes, we also paid a considerable price. My boss ordered me to take Leo Ultraman away." After speaking, the Magma Star looked at Mirek with an expectant look. "I've said everything I need to say, can you let me go?" "No way. We can't let him go." Leo, who was watching from the side, became anxious at this moment. He couldn't let the Magma Star people escape like this. "Mirek, are you really going to let him go? This guy is the one who invaded Leo's home planet," you asked with some concern in the light space. I saw Mirek throwing the Magma Astrian towards Leo like carrying a chick, and throwing the Magma Astrian's sword together to Leo. "I only said I didn't want him to suffer so much, who said I wanted to let him go?" Mirek looked at Leo, gesturing for him to deal with the temporarily inactive Magma Astrians. You're so despicable." The Magma Man roared angrily, "I gave you intelligence. Why didn't you let me go?" "Oh, it's not bad if I didn't torture you, aggressor," Mirek snorted contemptuously. Leo took the sword and remembered what the Magma Astrian had said. The L-77 planet was destroyed by these invaders, his teacher died in battle, and his brother was nowhere to be found. Go to hell. Leo held his sword and fiercely cut the Magma Star Man in half, then whipped the dead Magma Star Man who could no longer die. I'm sure his mood must be very uncomfortable looking at the Ultraman in front of me who had lost everything. My mood also became a bit heavy. But this is also the path he must go through. What should we do next? Leave with Leo? With his personality, I'm afraid he will rush to Magma to save Astra. Although the plot of Leo's story is not very clear, he knows that Leo may actually rush to Magma to rescue his brother. While pondering, Mirek was already persuading Leo to leave here with him. That's probably it. Let's leave together, and after you leave, I'll help you become stronger. Then I'll go save your brother. After listening to Mirek's words, Leo felt even more reluctant towards L-77, but the explosion was imminent here, and there was only one solution at the moment. Leo nodded heavily. L-77. In space, Leo watched the scene of the destruction of the L-77 planet, and an indescribable sadness surged in his heart. Before today, he was only the prince of L77 and had not obtained the power to transform into a giant. But now, everything has been destroyed. I can't spare you. Leo clenched his fists, his desire for revenge surging in his heart at this moment. If it weren't for Ultraman, who called himself Mirek, blocking him, he might have rushed straight to magma to break through the net. But Mirek is right. I don't have the power of revenge or the ability to save my younger brother yet. How does it feel? A bit cold? You Ultra Warriors are stuck here without considering energy issues, right? You looked at Leo, who was flashing a red light on a colorful timer next to you, and curiously asked, aren't you looking for a place to restore energy? Well, I haven't really considered this. After all, I've only been in this world for less than an hour. Mirek's voice echoed in the space of light, hey, yo, can you help me? How did Mirek know my name was you? When you were unconscious, I flipped through your memories to know. Okay, Mirek, you thick eyebrows and big eyes are actually a voyeur. You've really taken your eye off me. You can tell me how I can help you. I suffered some special circumstances before coming to this world, which made me very weak now. I need to rest for a while. Mirak explained. Ah. What should I do if you rest? You widened your eyes, Mirak, don't give up on me. At least we've worked hard together, and we haven't shared the same fate yet. How can you leave me? You are really afraid that Mirek will run away. How can you survive in this world, as you are not familiar with the place of life? You are still in the universe, and it would be great if you were on Earth. Wait, it seems that the Earth in this world is also very dangerous. What monsters and aliens are constantly emerging. We can't let Mirek run away. What do you think? What I mean is to hand over the body of the battle to you, and my consciousness needs to be well cultivated in the space of light for a period of time. Mirek responded unhappily, do you think Mirek is the kind of AO who would casually leave you here? I feel a bit like I think so, but you promised well. Which boy can refuse to transform into Ultraman? If you have anything you don't understand in the future, you can also ask me. Don't worry, young man. As a veteran with rich combat experience, it is easy to guide you to become a qualified Ultraman warrior. Mirek nodded with satisfaction. In an instant, Yu's perspective changed back to Ultraman's perspective. Chapter 3. Departing towards Earth. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Why do I feel like you want to fish? You roast. How can the Ultraman incident be called fishing for fish? It's only natural for me to take a break in order to better maintain cosmic peace in the future. Mirek's face is as thick as a city wall. By the way, there is a spaceship in the sublimator. I suggest you go to Earth first and join Severn Ultraman. Upon hearing Mirek's words, Yu's mind was filled with scenes of the various star clusters driving their jeeps into Feng Yuan. But Feng Yuan's image in his mind suddenly turned into himself. Why can't we go directly to the land of light to worship the docks? It would be beautiful to bring the Otto brothers and fight the Magma Star people together. You strongly resisted this and cleverly proposed this idea. After going to the Kingdom of Light, my own safety factor is also guaranteed. Isn't it much safer than on Earth? The Earth in this world has monsters every once in a while. There's not enough energy. Mirek's voice shattered Yu's imagination. There's no other choice but to seek help from the various star clusters. I hope not to be hit by a jeep. Leo Ultraman, let's take off the combat mode first. You looked at Leo, who was still pondering beside him, and at the same time, according to Mirek's guidance, released a spaceship. You waved to Leo and transformed into light as he entered the spaceship, followed closely by Leo. After relieving Mirek's form, you extended his hand to Leo and said, "This is my form as a human, you can call me you." Leo also extended his watch as a gesture of goodwill, "Just call me Feng Yuan." Then he looked at Yu's appearance and curiously asked, "Are you also a resident of our L77? You look very similar to us. No, I'm from another planet, but my home planet doesn't have the power to become a giant, you explained. Feng Yuan looked at you in confusion, and his expression might be saying you're teasing me. How did you become Ultraman? Well, in fact, I'm not Mirek Ultraman. You can understand that I can become him, but he and I are two different individuals, both possessing independent consciousness. You explained while examining the interior of the spaceship. It has to be said that it looks quite high-tech, much more upscale than the spaceships in science fiction works. This is different from a TV drama, it can be real. You can take a look and I'll teach you how to use it later. In the space of light, Mirak found a chair somewhere and was lying leisurely at the moment. At this moment, you looked left and right like Lu Lao Lao strolling around the Grandview Garden, as if she had never seen the world before. Don't touch them randomly, some buttons can't be touched, Mirek's voice rang out again. Okay. Upon hearing Mirek's words, you obediently put down her hand, and at this moment, Feng Yuan beside her spoke. Mirek told me before that he could help me become stronger, let's start now. What? What does what Mirek said to me have to do with someone? You had just graduated from college before his time traveling, and his mind was full of theoretical knowledge. Before he could even enter society, he wandered aimlessly. It wasn't him who boasted, Feng Yuan could beat him 10 times. Feng Yuan, don't worry for now. Mirek is currently resting. He was seriously injured before. I'll tell you, he was surrounded by 10 monsters and is now seriously injured. We can't disturb him now. You looked around and said carefully in Feng Yuan's ear. Make it seem like someone around is eavesdropping. There are only you and Feng Yuan in this spaceship. What are you on guard against? And don't speak ill of me. Mirek protested silently. Mirek, this is also for your sake. In order for you to rest well, of course I will hand over the glorious task of teaching Feng Yuan to an amiable senior Ultraman. You revealed his big white teeth and looked at Feng Yuan with a kind expression. Feng Yuan, let's go to Earth. The humans on that planet have the appearance of L-77 planet residents, and there is a powerful Ultraman there who can help you become stronger. Really? Then we'll set off immediately. Feng Yuan said excitedly after hearing Yu's words. For Feng Yuan, the destruction of his hometown was undoubtedly a heavy blow, but the news that his younger brother Astra was still imprisoned on Magma made him even more worried. Therefore, when he learned that there were Ultrawarriors on Earth who could help him become stronger, and that the people there had similar appearances to him, his mood was very excited and he wished to go to Earth immediately. Don't worry, we won't be able to reach the Earth in a long time. You looked at Feng Yuan's excited expression, and her nervousness about crossing also decreased a lot. Take it as it comes, Ultraman's world is also very exciting. Right, that's it. Gradually accelerate and pay attention to avoiding nearby planets. I understand, I'm completely focused now. After determining the goal to travel to Earth, Mirek began to teach Yo how to operate the spacecraft. Although Yo had not been exposed to relevant knowledge before, under Mirek's serious guidance, Yo was able to pilot the spacecraft relatively smoothly. Are you hungry? I found these foods in the storage room, Feng Yuan said loudly, holding the food in his left hand. It was Feng Yuan who reminded you that you had been in this world for about 2 days now. She had been studying with Mirek and had forgotten about eating. But it doesn't seem like I'm that hungry. Will becoming a human body reduce food intake? Putting aside these chaotic thoughts, you held on to the fat house and drank tons of happy water. After putting down the happy water, you noticed that Feng Yuan across from her was hesitant to speak, as if she wanted to say something. Feng Yuan, what's wrong? Just say whatever you want. That's right, you've been piloting the spaceship these past 2 days. Is there anything I can help you with? Feng Yuan scratched his head awkwardly. During this time, he couldn't find anything to do, except for watching you piloting the spaceship. He realized he couldn't do that and should make a change. Oh. Feng Yuan, do you know how to pilot a spaceship? Yu's eyes lit up. At least Feng Yuan is also the prince of L-77, so he probably knows how to pilot a spaceship, right? This way, I don't have to concentrate on staring at the spaceship every day. I'm sorry, I don't know. Feng Yuanfu said, the technology of L-77 planet is not so advanced yet, and everyone is still in the era of cold weapons. It's okay, I'll teach you, so we can take turns piloting the spaceship. At this moment, Yu remembered that he hadn't slept for 2 consecutive days, but strangely, he didn't feel much drowsiness. The change brought by becoming a human body, kid, it's amazing. I don't think there's anyone else in the human world who doesn't sleep or eat. Is it because I'm different? Yu touched her chin with a sudden realization expression. No, it's me who stands out, Mirek said lightly. Chapter 4. Methods of Becoming Strong. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Feng Yuan, are you learning quickly? In less than half a day, Feng Yuan had already completed the progress that could only be completed in 2 days. No wonder he learned combat so quickly, and his learning ability was impressive. You, then go rest for a while. I will follow the star map forward. Feng Yuan pointed to the nearby star map, which had the coordinates of the Earth. You used to feel very strange about this. After all, this spaceship belongs to Mirek. How could there be coordinates for this world? I also checked his memory while holding the Magma Astrian hostage, Mirek proudly replied. Well, he is indeed a voyeur. With Feng Yuan piloting the spaceship here, you also went to the rest area to prepare for a good night's sleep. Although he has become a human body, he cannot abandon the good habit of sleeping. I forgot to tell you before that in this world where there are many strong beings and evil aliens running around, you should also exercise yourself well. In the space of light, an unscrupulous senior Ultraman was smiling at the corner of his mouth, as if he was thinking of something happy. Ah! How do I exercise now? Do I do push-ups? You looked confused. Besides, isn't there still you? This statement is not accurate. The strength of the human body is actually proportional to the strength that Ultraman can exert. In order to better exert my strength, you should also change your weak chicken body. Mirek shook his head, indicating that Yu's consciousness was not enough. Besides, I am seriously injured now and need cultivation. It is a good time for you to show off your skills. So what should I do? Yu nodded. Mirak was right, and I should also become stronger. Is it a jeep? For some reason, in these past few days, my mind has been filled with scenes of either piloting a spaceship or various star clusters chasing Feng Yuan in jeeps. You said that the jeep is still okay, it could lead to human life. There is a virtual field in the sublimator where you can engage in virtual battles, and any recorded enemies can be selected. Mirek said calmly, you can enter the virtual space for training while resting, and it will not affect your physical recovery. Is there such a good thing? You admit that this combat style is indeed very convenient, but why is it the recovery of the body? Does it mean that one's mental state will be affected? You're right, it's truly the human body I've chosen. It's easy to understand with just one click, Mirek nodded, indicating that Yu's little brain is very effective. But there is another way to become stronger, but it's me who can become stronger. Ah! What does it mean to become stronger? You didn't understand. By bringing hope to people, those hopes can enhance my light, such as Feng Yuan's hope. Mirak paused and looked at Feng Yuan in the driver's cab. Simply put, virtual combat gives you practical experience, hoping to make our light stronger. Master, I understand. I advocate materialism, you advocate idealism. You are a bit confused by this naughty operation. Can you still become stronger like this? I heard it for the first time, but it feels really impressive. What are you waiting for? Let's start quickly. Yu was full of energy and ready to show off his skills. Lie down first, otherwise you will fall down and get injured in one fell swoop. You followed Mirek's command and lay on the bed beside her. When she opened her eyes again, she had also arrived at the space of light. However, this time the area of the light space has become slightly larger. Can the area of the original space of light concretize the desired size? Amazing. Come on, yo, choose your opponent. Mirek pressed the sublimator, and a large screen immediately appeared. There are various monsters on it. Bemontistan, Volcano Monster Bird Barton, Airy King. You carefully looked at it, and there were indeed many types of monsters, including many he had seen in movies and TV dramas. Considering your situation, I suggest you choose Gorzon as your opponent. Isn't that monster very weak? You asked his own question, which was not surprising for Yu's arrogance. After all, Gorzon's performance in Diga Ultraman TV was really lackluster. What, if you don't choose Gorzon, why don't you choose Bemontistan? You still have more to learn now. Mirek snorted and slid over to Bemontistan's option, just about to confirm. Don't, just Gorzon. I feel like Gorzon is also very powerful. You saw the situation was not good and held down Mirek's restless hand. If you really fight against Bemontistan, I'm afraid you won't be constantly abused. Gorzon, sure. Mirek smiled and nodded as he saw Yu's expression of fear. A young child can be taught. In an instant, the surrounding scene changed, and the space of light disappeared, replaced by mountains. Ong! The earth trembled slightly, and a monster over 50 meters appeared across from you. It's Gorzon. And you also transformed into the form of Mirek. Battle begins. Gorzon saw an Ultraman standing in front of him and excitedly rushed forward. But you seem to have been fooled, unsure whether to attack or dodge, and for a moment froze in place. It's attacking, don't be stunned, dodge. Mirek shouted loudly. Thanks to Mirek's reminder, you dodged Gorzon's attack to the left. Right now, attack its back. Upon hearing this, you forcefully punched Gorzon on the back and knocked him down to the ground. Take advantage of its illness to kill it, suppress it. You rode directly on the back of Gorzon and continuously attacked his back. Fist to the flesh. Why hasn't it moved? After a series of combo punches, Gorzon couldn't even struggle anymore, which made you doubt whether Gorzon had been beaten to death. It's putting this outfit on, it's not very well intentioned. When you relax, it'll give you a tough one, Mirek reminded. Many enemies are like this, extremely cunning. Now try Storm Ray, which is a powerful light skill, but the forward sway is longer. You need to wait until the fighter jet is suitable to launch it. Okay. After hearing this, you felt uneasy and punched Gorzon a few more times before jumping up and doing a backflip. Goodbye to you. You will work your arms together with a cross and start accumulating strength. It has to be said that the front shake of this lighting technique is indeed quite long. Storm Rays. Accompanied by Yu's drunkenness, a blue and white light shot out from Yu's arm. Boom. After receiving this move, Gorzon's body was instantly shattered into many pieces. Along with the distant hills, they were also leveled. But with it comes a strong sense of weakness. The disadvantage of this lighting skill is that it consumes a lot of energy, so you need to strike the enemy with one blow and cannot release it casually. Afterwards, under the guidance of Mirek, you chose weaker monsters such as Melba for training. My own strength is also gradually becoming stronger. Chapter 5. First Meeting with Sean. You are listening at novelfull.audio. So, you and Feng Yuan have been sailing in the universe for almost a week. During this week, you has accumulated a lot of practical experience in virtual combat. Although these opponents are not particularly strong, at least you have the combat power to be a qualified Ultraman warrior. Just as you had just woken up, Feng Yuan's loud voice followed one after another. You come quickly, isn't this the son you're talking about? Feng Yuan excitedly pulled Yu's arm and pulled Yu into the cab. There is a planet ahead that emits a light yellow light. Although it is far away, with the help of Alpha's telescopic technology, you can be certain that it is the Sun. 2. The Sun. Looking at the planet that was almost the same as in memory, Yu's mood also became very happy. We're finally reaching Earth. Although it is not the Earth of his hometown, the parallel time and space of the Earth also gives his family a feeling. Feng Yuan, it seems we are almost on Earth. Yu happily patted Feng Yuan's shoulder. During this time, he has always been worried in the universe. After all, there are various unknown risks in the universe. But the Earth is different. Despite the many dangers of the Earth in this world, it still gives him a feeling of home. The headquarters of the Mac team is located outside of Earth. What do you plan to do? Mirak asked curiously. Go directly to find Sean Ultraman, otherwise we are all gangsters and we need Sean's help to solve our identity issues with Feng Yuan. I have already thought about this question before. I will have to meet with the star clusters sooner or later. It would be more convenient to find him directly when approaching Earth. Feng Yuan, I plan to meet that Ultraman next. Yu turned to Feng Yuan and said, Are you ready? Are you ready to be hit by a jeep? Feng Yuan nodded. He had been looking forward to this day for a long time. In no time, the Alpha had already reached the outer edge of the Earth. The Azure Planet. Feng Yuan was mesmerized at this moment. It's really beautiful. Captain, look what that is. Suzuki team member pointed to a spaceship in outer space, his eyes filled with shock. The radar detection did not sound an alarm at all. The unknown fear has caused great concern among the Mac team members. Don't worry, try to warn the other party, the various star clusters said as they took out the Oort glasses from their pockets. Attention spacecraft ahead, you have entered the realm of Earth. Please stop and return immediately. Well, Feng Yuan, it seems they treat us as aggressors. After listening to this sentence, you realized that their swaggering presence in outer space could easily cause panic in the other party. After thinking for a moment, you turned on the communication device. We have no malicious intent, please ask your captain of the star group to answer the communication. You released goodwill. He doesn't want to be seen as an aggressor. Coming towards me. However, the various star clusters have not lost their ability to transform into Severn at this moment, and they are not very panicked about it. They are only worried that the other party will directly destroy the Mac base, affecting ordinary people. I am Captain Mac from the star cluster. What do you need me for? The star cluster took over the communication device and asked seriously. We have no malicious intent. Also, will this communication be recorded? I know who you are. The various star clusters looked at the team members around them, gesturing for them to stay away from them, and whispered, Don't worry, they won't be recorded. I am Mirek, a wandering Ultraman in the universe, and next to me is Leo Ultraman, a survivor of the L-77 planet. You told the star clusters about his experience with Leo, but concealed the fact of his journey and disguised himself. After all, explaining this matter is very complicated. Let's wait until we have the opportunity to explain it in the future. Therefore, I hope you can help me and Feng Yuan find a place to live and legal identity. After you finished speaking, the other party fell silent. The star clusters are judging the authenticity of what you said. Senior Saiwan, there's no need to worry about our identity. Look outside. A burst of strong light came. New. Ultraman, exclaimed the people around in surprise. In space, the silver giant of light stands in front of the Mac base. Upon seeing this scene, the various star clusters can basically determine the authenticity of what you said. That light is extremely warm, and the Ultraman with this light must be a kind-hearted person. If Mirek had heard the words of the star cluster, he would definitely give him a thumbs up. You truly deserve it, you have a great eye for people. The various star clusters nodded heavily towards you. Immediately, Mirek's body dissipated, and a beam of light entered Mac's base at a speed that was difficult to detect with the naked eye. Of course, the various star clusters noticed this light and greeted the Suzuki team members nearby, saying that there was no problem with this spacecraft and that he had to go and handle something now. The various star clusters sneaked into their own lounge. As soon as I entered the door, I found two people sitting by his bed. Senior Saiwen, I have long admired you. I have admired you for a long time. A handsome boy held the hand of the star cluster, revealing his big white teeth and smiling happily. I am Mirek Ultraman, you can call me you. He is Feng Yuan and also Leo Ultraman. You pointed to Feng Yuan and gave him a wink. Hello, Senior Saiwen. Feng Yuan felt a bit awkward when facing the various star clusters for the first time and didn't know what to say. Hello, Ultraman from afar. The star clusters nodded. I can help you find a place to live and solve your identity problems. So what are your plans for the future? I plan to find a job to temporarily live on Earth. As for Feng Yuan, you don't want to join Mac. In my impression, Mac's teammates on TV are getting more and more pitfalls. I want to learn from you. Feng Yuan replied quickly. Looking at the hopeful gaze of the young man in front of him, and then recalling Feng Yuan's tragic experience, the various star clusters nodded. There are 2 more Ultramen on Earth, and the safety of the planet has increased significantly. In the future, any intruder will have more confidence to defeat them themselves. The various star clusters have regarded Earth as their second homeland, and their preference for Earthlings has also led to the strict captain of the various stars in Leo TV. Without the ability to transform, he could only rely all his hope on Leo. Mac did not have the strength to eliminate monsters, so he urgently hoped that Leo could quickly become stronger, which caused the collapse of Leo's TV characters. Abbreviation. Magic Stunned. However, the various star clusters have not yet become lame. As long as we prevent the star clusters from losing their transformation ability, Senior Saiwen is still very kind and trustworthy. So let me take Feng Yuan back to Alpha first. You nodded and said with a smile, I will land Alpha on Earth. Alpha has stealth technology, which cannot be detected with current human technology. Chapter 6. Chengnan Sports Club. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Tokyo. Leo's plot unfolded in the 1970s, when there were not many tall buildings yet, and the retro style around him made you feel a bit uncomfortable. In an unfamiliar era. You looked at the bustling crowd, and the bustling Tokyo made you, a stranger, feel a bit dazed. Yo, is this the Earth you're talking about? It looks really great. Feng Yuan couldn't help but be attracted by the prosperity here after entering Tokyo. Feng Yuan, it seems you really like this place. You smiled and patted Feng Yuan's shoulder. Once you come, be content with it. After all, it can be considered a return to your hometown. Oh, it's Mr. Zhuxing. Feng Yuan looked at a jeep not far away and waved hard. Watching Feng Yuan's silly child look happy, you really wanted to record his appearance at this moment. After being chased by a jeep, show it to him. Can Feng Yuan still laugh when he sees it? The jeep pulled over and the star clusters signaled for you and Feng Yuan to board. How are you, Feng Yuan? How do you feel? After you and Feng Yuan got into the car, the various star clusters smiled and said. It's great, this place is very similar to my hometown. You looked out the window at the bustling Tokyo and chuckled lightly. I really like this place. Feng Yuan openly expressed his love for it. Just be happy, said the star clusters as they drove, but this peace is also hard won. Many aggressors want to invade this planet, and it is precisely because of the existence of Ultraman that this peace can continue to this day. Are there any aggressors here too? Feng Yuan asked inexplicably. The people here live and work in peace, and there is no sign of being invaded. Because many Ultras fought for this beautiful planet, those invaders ultimately returned in vain. The star clusters observed the two people in the back seat through the rearview mirror, and it was evident that both were genuinely happy. I know, I grew up hearing about your deeds, Senior Saiwan. You nodded. Not only did you grow up after hearing about the deeds of Severin Ultraman, but you also grew up watching Digia, Gaia, Dana, Mobius, and so on. Have you admired them for a long time? Mirek mercilessly dismantled Yutai. That must be true, what I can tell you is the truth, Yuqing hummed. However, the star clusters in the front seat were stunned upon hearing Yu's words. You knew his identity when you first met him, and now you are even more candid about your own deeds. This young man has a great secret about him. However, this will not make him wary of you, as his light is enough to prove everything. Everyone has a secret, and the star clusters will not go and poke him. Our Feng Yuan, on the other hand, is a nervous giant who has not extracted any key information from Yu's words. At this moment, he is immersed in a newspaper in the car. The end of ZAT, the birth of Mac. Feng Yuan exclaimed happily, it turns out that the Mac team led by Mr. Zhuxing has just been established. It's like this, in order to guard against threats in the universe, we established the Mac team. Are you very interested in this? Said the star clusters curiously. Well, it feels like this kind of organization is very sacred. Feng Yuan looked up at the various star clusters while reading the newspaper. I don't know why, but Mr. Zhuxing in the rearview mirror appeared very happy when he heard his answer. This is your future residence, come and take a look. The various star clusters waved and opened the door to the house. You followed closely behind and upon entering, found a very open space inside. Very suitable for practicing martial arts, kid. Mirek looked at the open field and smiled contentedly. Do you crave to become stronger, young man? No, I fight in the virtual arena at night, and I have to work during the day. Don't bother me. You refused, and after these few nights of training, he could see that he felt very tired after each training session, which made Feng Yuan think he didn't rest well. However, you changed his approach later on. He trained in the first half of the night and slept soundly in the second half of the night. Coupled with his special physical condition as a human body, his mental state improved significantly. This is your room, over there is the kitchen. The star cluster is still introducing the layout of the room to the two of them. It has to be said that this residence is great, and you are very satisfied with it. From then on, you can also consider having a place to live. After introducing the layout of the room, the various star clusters happily communicated with Feng Yuan. You did not disturb them, so it is likely that Senior Saiwan is deceiving Feng Yuan into joining the Mac team. Mr. Zhuxing, I'll go out and take a look to see if there's a job that suits me. After speaking, he turned around and walked on the streets of Tokyo. What kind of job should I look for? This problem has made you feel uneasy. Before crossing over, I studied mathematics and planned to become a teacher. Is it difficult to apply to become a teacher? You have already established your identity now, how can you become a teacher? Mirak reminded, if you want me to tell you, you should stay in that courtyard and train with me well, and then let Feng Yuan and the star group help you. You said it very well, don't say it again next time. You refuse this. If it were really like this, wouldn't he become a soft rice man? I will never rely on someone else's charity to make a living no matter what. She secretly made a vow and was attracted by an advertisement in the newspaper. Does Chengnan Sports Club recruit sports coaches? Wait, is Feng Yuan working there in the original drama? How can someone else not do what Feng Yuan did to me? With this feeling in mind, you plans to apply for a job at Chengnan Sports Club. The Chengnan Sports Club is not far from Yu's residence, only a few streets apart, and it will arrive in a short while. Looking at the familiar place in front of me, I took a long step inside. Excuse me, is anyone there? I looked around and it seemed that no one was there at this moment. Is it because you came at the wrong time? Although it seems that no one is currently inside, you still carefully observed the internal structure of the club. The Chengnan Sports Club mainly focuses on children's training, including gymnastics and karate, and other activities. It looks quite big, you nodded, almost like the club in her memory. While admiring the club facilities, an uncle ran out of a room. Sorry, I was a bit busy just now. May I ask if you're here for anything? The middle-aged man quickly asked. I saw the job advertisement, so I came here, you said with a smile. Ah, hello, I am Masashi Murakami, the head of the Chengnan Sports Club. When Omura heard that he was applying, he extended his right hand. Hello, President Omura. Just call me Yo-Yo. Although I'm not very proficient in karate, I believe I can handle this job. Immediately, you followed President Omura to undergo a pre-employment test. With his outstanding physical fitness and practical experience in the past few days, these tests were quite simple for you. Congratulations on becoming a member of Chengnan Sports Club. Please take good care of me in the future. President Omura smiled and said. The young man in front of me looks very gentle, but his physical fitness is surprisingly good. President Omura is very satisfied. Chapter 7. The Unknown Hand. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. After completing the onboarding procedures, President Omura introduced the various facilities and precautions of the club to you. That's about it. It's getting late now, come back tomorrow, said the village president with a smile. At this moment, you realized that time was passing so quickly. It must be that Feng Yuan and Mr. Zhuxing had been waiting at home for a long time. After bidding farewell to President Omura, you embarked on the road home. However, you did not notice a man wearing a black windbreaker on the street staring at him with a strange expression on his face. Mirek Ultraman, finally found you. The man's face gradually became grim, as if he had thought of some bad memories. Wait, when my strength is restored, I will make you lose everything. Just like before. After speaking, the whole person disappeared, and the passers-by around did not notice it, as if this man had never existed. Mr. Zhuxing, Feng Yuan, I'm back. Is it you? Have you found a job? The various star clusters were originally worried that you might be lost, and were preparing to go out and search. I have found it, and I will be coaching at Chengnan Sports Club in the future. You nodded, his mood was very good. Yo, can I talk to you for a moment? The star cluster gave Yo a glance, indicating that they wanted to say something in secret. I happen to have something to talk to you about. You looked at Feng Yuan, who was feeling depressed for some reason, and quickly agreed. The various star clusters took you to another room, ensuring that Feng Yuan would not hear, and then said, Feng Yuan wants to join the Mac team. Isn't this a good thing? You asked in confusion. In the original drama, Feng Yuan also joined Mac. If Mr. Zhuxing and Feng Yuan have decided on this matter, then it's okay. I didn't agree. Ah. Didn't you promise Feng Yuan to help him train? Why are you still going back and forth? The reason why Feng Yuan wants to learn with me now is to seek revenge against the Magma Star people, and I certainly won't refuse this. The various star clusters showed a surprised expression and explained, I can feel Feng Yuan's love for this planet, but he has only come into contact with this world. I hope you can take him to see this world. Understood, Feng Yuan's love for the Earth is not deep enough. You said I understand everything. But how can I take Feng Yuan to see it? I have to go to work tomorrow. Stupid, why don't you bring Feng Yuan to work at the Chengnan Sports Club? Mirak woke up the person in his dream with just one word. That's right, brother. Why are you so smart? This is indeed a great suggestion. In the original drama, Feng Yuan worked at the club for a period of time. Wait, how did Feng Yuan solve the problem of black households? Forget it, I don't think so. Show a man doesn't need a household registration. I plan to have Feng Yuan apply for the Chengnan Sports Club, so that we can also take care of each other. How about that? You looked at the nearby star groups and said, how can Feng Yuan learn from you? After pondering for a moment, the various star clusters replied, during my leisure time working at Feng Yuan, I will come to the club to personally train Feng Yuan. What about your job? Is Captain Max so idle? Sure enough, Ultraman is known for his enthusiastic heart. Afterwards, the two of them made arrangements for Feng Yuan, and Feng Yuan's depressed expression suddenly became happy. As long as you can receive training, everything is easy to say. Gulyalu. Feng Yuan's stomach exclaimed uncontrollably. I've forgotten that you haven't eaten all day, so I'll go prepare it for you now. After the star clusters finished speaking, they went into the nearby kitchen to prepare dinner. Before crossing over, you would also cook some dishes. He immediately slipped into the kitchen and suggested making some Chinese dishes for them to taste. Feng Yuan, this is Chengnan Sports Club, you turned her head and said with a smile to Feng Yuan. Feng Yuan and TV started working at a club, and there are also multiple coaches to be recruited in the newspaper, so there is no need to worry about Feng Yuan not succeeding in the interview. Oh, you're here so early. President Omura glanced at the clock. It's only after 7 o'clock in the morning, and normal working hours are 8 o'clock in the morning. Hee, President, I'm introducing a friend to apply for a job. His physical fitness is even better than mine. You patted Feng Yuan's chest and said, there should still be a position, right? President Omura looked at Feng Yuan and for some reason, he felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity upon seeing him. Let's test it first. President Omura led two people into the Chengnan Sports Club. However, while watching Feng Yuan's onboarding test, the girl beside him caught his attention. The iconic oval face and the familiar feeling Yamaguchi Baizi. Yuko Yamaguchi is the female lead of Leo TV. Although not very beautiful, she belongs to the type of virtuous wife and mother, and is also very gentle. At this moment, she smiled and looked at Feng Yuan, who was performing his actions seriously. This pair is also a pity. You remember that Baizi died during the invasion of the disc creatures in the later stage, and I felt quite regretful about it when I was a child. Hello, I am a new employee and my name is Yu. Anyway, let's first establish the most basic friendship. Hey. Are you Yo-Yo? President Omura told me that there's a very talented person coming to the club, so it's you. Baizi looked at the young man in front of her and said with some surprise. She had thought that you had a tall figure before, after all, the president of the village said you had strong physical fitness. Just as you were chatting with Baizi, footsteps could be heard from behind. Xiaoxiang, Xiaotong, good morning. Turning his head leisurely, two children, a man and a woman, walked in and were greeting Baizi at the moment. Good morning, Sister Baizi. Who is this brother? Xiao Xiang looked at you curiously. This is the new coach, you can call him Brother Yu. Brother Yu is a very powerful person. Baizi touched Xiao Xiang's head and said with a smile. Hello, Xiao Xiang, Xiaotong. You also started to communicate with Meitian siblings. Thanks to the gentle image of the older brother, he quickly became one with these two children. After all, he used to be a good hand at coaxing children, taking care of all kinds of little kids during holidays and festivals. So Brother Yu is so amazing. At this moment, Yu is boasting about her legendary experience with Xiaoxiang and Xiaotong. Of course, when I faced that ferocious villain, I beat him away with just a few strokes. Yu slightly adapted his experience with the Warmage Star Man, and thus a story of a hero saving the beauty was born. But what saved was not beauty, it was Feng Yuan. Just as Yu was playing with the children, Feng Yuan's onboarding test was also completed. Feng Yuan, from now on, you will also be a member of our Chengnan Sports Club. President Omura nodded and said to Feng Yuan with a smile. I will work hard. Chapter 8. I can't fall down yet. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A month has passed in the blink of an eye. Yu teaches children karate at the club every day, and in her leisure time, she also practices fighting with Feng Yuan. At night, she enters a virtual space for practical training. Life is also quite fulfilling. This kind of life is also quite good. Yu, wearing a training suit, was sitting on a stool resting at the moment. Brother Yu, I don't know this question. Can you help me with it? It's Xiaoxiang's voice. Yu smiled and took over the question, beginning to explain it to Xiaoxiang. That's it, do you understand? Yu pinched Xiaoxiang's face, and the child's face felt quite comfortable to touch. After spending a month together, you and the people here have established good relationships, and both children and adults love you. At the same time, you also noticed that Bai Zi had developed a liking for Feng Yuan. However, Feng Yuan was completely focused on training and guiding the children, and did not even notice Bai Zi's special affection for him. I feel a sense of danger, Mirak said cautiously. Danger? Yu calmly looked around and quickly asked, what's going on? In the south direction of the city, there is the power of darkness. Mirek's light is extremely resistant to darkness, and therefore extremely sensitive to the aura of darkness. President Omura, I have some matters to attend to. Can I take a leave? Yu touched Xiaoxiang's head and planned to go to the south of the city to see what was going on. Oh, be careful on the way. President Omura is still very articulate. Mirek, haven't you arrived yet? It's so tiring. You thought the distance wasn't far, so he planned to walk there. However, after leaving Tokyo, he still hadn't arrived at his destination. His legs are a bit unbearable. Find a hidden place to transform and rush on. Why didn't you say it earlier? You pinched your calves and said with a hint of resentment. Why didn't you ask earlier? Mirek retorted. Okay, you won. Immediately after, you ran into the nearby forest and, after confirming that there was no one, took out the Mirak sublimator. Mirek. A strong light rushed into the sky, and after the light faded, it was the silver-white Ultraman Mirek. Exactly. The movement of Yu's transformation was not small. Although no one saw him transform, the appearance of the Ultraman warrior was still quite easy to detect. Moreover, this is outside Tokyo. Mom, look, it's Ultraman. A child who was eating a lollipop pointed towards the sky with a surprised expression on his face. Ah, it's Ultraman. The woman beside nodded, feeling a bit nervous. Where did the monster appear again? Ultraman, we must win. Captain, the figure of Mirek Ultraman has appeared in the south of Tokyo. After the last brief meeting, the codenames of the two Ultramen, Mirek and Leo, were also confirmed. Keep track of Mirek Ultraman's whereabouts at all times, ordered the star clusters. Since you have chosen to transform, something must have happened. I hope there won't be any trouble. The star clusters pinched their Oort glasses and immediately ordered, Mac, move out. It's right here. Mirek stared down at the island below, where the dark atmosphere was very strong. Is it Kuroshio Island? Yu's vague memory became clear at this moment. This is the beginning of the Leo plot, where Siwen is defeated by the twin monsters Redkuras and Blackkuras, causing him to become crippled. Along with Kuroshio Island, it was also destroyed. If it were a twin monster, I might not be a match right now, so I might die. This sentence seems to be asking Mirek, and it also seems to be asking oneself. Mirek did not answer. He can personally participate in this battle, but he plans to let you complete it alone. If he is really defeated, he will take the top spot. He hopes that you can grow in battle, rather than relying solely on him when facing danger. At this moment, Yu is also in a dilemma. Senior Siwen, who had so much combat experience in the original drama, has suffered losses. Can you really do it yourself? But thinking that I have already arrived here, I'm not sure if I have already alarmed the magma people. What should the residents of Kuroshio Island do if they go back to shake people at this time? Just as it swayed and swayed, the sea on the side of Kuroshio Island was no longer stable. It's a twin monster. Monsters are here, run. The residents of the island saw these two monsters and panicked to find a safe place. What a coincidence. The magma star man you looked up at the sky, perhaps because she had transformed into Ultraman, and the cries for help from the people on the island were clearly heard by you. You can't escape, once you escape them, it's all over. You made up some determination and quickly fell from high altitude. Stop it for me. The twin monsters seemed to receive some kind of command, stopping in place and waiting for Yu's arrival. This made Yu's surprise attack plan come to naught. Is it indeed in the air? You saw the twin monster transform into a defensive form, and it was feared that the magma star man was commanding remotely from a corner of the sky. Let go of the fight, I will help you in critical moments. Mirek's voice reassured you a lot, and with Mirek's words, you no longer had so many concerns. Slowly and steadily landing, the surrounding residential buildings reminded him to lead the monster to an open area. The seaside. But I'm not good at water warfare. Monsters don't care about so much. With their violent nature, when they see their enemies in front of them, they just want to tear them apart. Two monsters launched attacks on you at the same time, which made you feel overwhelmed and had to retreat while fighting. Finally arrived at the seaside. You dodged the attack of the twin monster while retaliating, and was unable to retreat. Redkuras slapped it, blocked it with force, and kicked Redkuras in the abdomen, flipping it over. At this moment, Blackkuras took the opportunity to charge towards Yo, who barely dodged the attack and was about to hug it, but the sharp blade behind the twin monster reminded him not to do so. This is completely different from when fighting against Gorzon. Just as you hesitated and didn't know how to respond, Redkuras stood up at some point and hugged him tightly. Oh no, I forgot there's another enemy behind me. Yu's training in the virtual space is all 1.on.1, and he has never had any 1.on.1 experience, which puts him in a crisis. Bang! Blackkuras pounded Yo hard, but Yo was tightly held by Redkuras and couldn't break free. At this moment, several missile attacks hit Redkuras in the back. Yu was fiercely thrown onto the nearby reef. It hurt so much. Kuyu ignored the pain and could only stand up with force to continue the battle. He can't fall yet. Captain, Mirek Ultraman is in crisis. When Mac's crowd arrived, Yu was tightly embraced by Redkuras. Support Mirek Ultraman. The various star clusters stared nervously at the battle situation. From being knocked down to quickly standing up, he understood that you should have experienced many battles. But that's not enough to defeat the twin monsters. Chapter 9. Tomorrow's Sunrise. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Although Mac's attacks were like tickling for monsters, Redkuras also felt annoyed by them, so it began attacking Mac's fighter jets. The various star clusters were worried about how to help you. As soon as they saw this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, they immediately piloted a fighter jet to die. Captain. The team members around were frightened by the operation of the star cluster. Quickly dodge. The star clusters, on the other hand, directly turned off their communication devices and took out their ORT glasses to transform. Saiwan. The fighter jet was about to touch Redkuras when a strong light struck, and it felt danger and took a step back. At this moment of retreat, Severin punched Redkuras and knocked him to the ground, then pretended to be very careful and placed the fighter in a safe area. Acting requires performing the entire set. Senior Saiwan, you have finally arrived. You knew his reinforcements had arrived when he saw Mac come to support him. The reinforcements here naturally refer to Senior Saiwan. After all, Mac cannot be expected. You deal with Redkuras, I deal with Blackkuras, divide your actions, and quickly solve your opponents. After saying this, Severin threw himself into the battle, making it difficult to say that even the magma star was in the air. Forget it, I'll pay attention to it myself later. Repositioning the fighting stance, this time facing a monster alone, the pressure suddenly decreased. Blackris can still handle it. Yuling snorted, intending to give the monster in front of you some color to see. A left kick kicked Blackris onto the beach, and while he was temporarily unable to move, he lifted him above his head and threw him into the distance. Next is a 1.1 battle between real men, and we need to find an open area to teach this monster a good lesson. Didn't you make a fuss just now? You punched and kicked him, slapping him in the face repeatedly, causing him to scream in agony. Now you know the pain, You showed Blackulas his violent aesthetics, answer me, otherwise I'll continue to beat you. Blackris felt very speechless, I didn't even know how to answer you. Just as you was about to get up and unleash a storm ray to teach this monster how to be a good citizen of the universe, the sound from behind made him quickly dodge on his side. The newcomer is the Magma Star Man. Mirek Ultraman, you killed my companion, didn't you? The Magma Sun raised his sword and looked fiercely at you. It's not me, you're mistaken. What does the person he killed, Mirek, have to do with me? Don't unjustly accuse good people. Pretending to be crazy and foolish, don't you even have the courage to admit it? The Magma Star Man felt like he had been fooled and angrily said, you actually killed my only friend. I want you to pay for it. If that aggressor could still live to see this scene, he would definitely be moved and cry. You said coldly, I'll kill as many aggressors as you come. Get out of the earth. Stop talking nonsense and take your life. Magma Star obviously doesn't want to continue talking nonsense to you, he just wants to kill the arrogant guy in front of him now. Can you only drive monsters to fight for you? Do you dare to fight against me alone? You continued to retort. Unexpectedly, the Magma people actually let Blackris attack Severn, and they had to fight against you alone. As an elite warrior of the Magma people, I wouldn't have done such a despicable act. As the words fell, the Magma people raised their swords and attacked. Hey, how can you use weapons? You said you're not despicable. You protested against this. The Magma people have a bit of warrior spirit, but not many. This time, the Magma Star people really ignored him and came straight to the Yumian gate. You bent down to dodge the blow and forcefully punched the Magma Star Man in the waist. I have tens of thousands of years of skill in this punch, I don't know if you can handle it. The Magmaxing people suffer from pain and once again distance themselves from you. Then he handed it over again. Strange, why do you have an ominous premonition? Feng Yuan, who was resting at the club, felt a little uneasy in his heart. He carefully sensed and the scene of two monsters destroying Kuroshio Island came to life in his mind. And those two monsters are exactly twin monsters, one of the perpetrators of destroying L-77. But if the twin monsters come, then the Magma people must also come. Are they planning to invade the Earth? It's broken, I need to go to Kuroshio Island quickly. Feng Yuan, who has lived on Earth for a month, has regarded this place as its second hometown. Everything here is so beautiful that the Magma people are not allowed to destroy it. After taking a leave with the president, Feng Yuan ran to a hidden place and transformed into Leo to rush to the battlefield. At this moment, Saiwan is facing a dilemma in TV, and he is not good at water combat, but the enemy is quite good at it. Although he is a first-class warrior in the Kingdom of Light, various harsh conditions make him somewhat powerless. Redkuras and Blackkuras teamed up to force Kevin into the sea. Immediately, Redkuras hugged Severn, while Blackkuras was holding Severn's calf and preparing to twist it. A powerful flying kick kicked Blake away, and Kevin took the opportunity to break free from his constraints. Leo has arrived. The Magma Star Man, who was entangled with you, suddenly felt a great deal of pressure. He blocked Yu's attack again, made a gesture of attacking you, and then rushed towards the sky. Escaped. The twin monster also received instructions to escape into the sea at this moment. The crisis has temporarily resolved. However, the concerns of the Mac crowd have not diminished, and they want to ensure the safety of the captain. Master Zhuxing, you came too late. I was almost thrown into the sea to feed the fish. After a big battle, although he felt a bit tired, protecting the people of Kuroshio Island made him feel good. You can't be so reckless next time, said the star cluster seriously. If I hadn't arrived in time, you wouldn't have been so relaxed. After speaking, the various star clusters felt a severe pain in their calves. Are you injured? Is it serious? Feng Yuan quickly asked when he saw the various star clusters looking like this. When he arrived, he only saw Blackras twisting the legs of Mr. Stars. He didn't expect that he was still late thinking of this. Feng Yuan felt very guilty. If it weren't for not sensing the danger in time, Mr. Zhuxing's leg wouldn't have been injured. Don't blame yourself, Feng Yuan, you've done a great job already. The star cluster weakly supported the nearby stone. Can you help me wrap it up? Still bleeding. Okay, I'll help you bandage it now. Feng Yuan didn't know where to find the gauze and began to bandage the ball. Feng Yuan, why do you still carry gauze with you when fighting monsters? You are very puzzled about this, but now that the injuries of the senior Zhuxing are the most important, I will no longer think about these. It's over, the legs of Master Zhuxing still haven't been saved. I won't see the gentle senior again in the future. Thinking of the mesmerized senior among the stars in the drama, you only felt that the days ahead would be difficult. After dressing up, the various star clusters stood up weakly, and you and Feng Yuan supported him. Under the afterglow, Tuan looked at the sinking sun in the distance and then looked at the two people on either side. If the setting sun in the west is mine, then you are the sunrise of tomorrow. Chapter 10. Struggle to protect the earth. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Mr. Zhuxing, please let me join the Mac team. Feng Yuan supported the Zhuxing cluster and said seriously, I have regarded Earth as my second hometown, and I want to protect it well. The various star clusters saw the determination to protect from Feng Yuan's eyes, and understood that Feng Yuan truly regarded the Earth as his second hometown. So this time, there was no need to refuse. Okay, I promise you. The star cluster nodded heavily and then looked at you. Aren't you planning to join Mac? Compared to Mac, I prefer a free and unrestrained life, and I am used to living in the Chengnan Sports Club, and I also quite like everyone. You touched your head and politely declined the kindness of Master Zhuxing. Although joining Mac offers great benefits and high salaries, the performance of Mac players is also a real pitfall. It can be said that it is one of the most frustrating space security teams in tokusatsu dramas. On the contrary, if it was the victory team on Diga TV, he would be quite happy. Each member of the victory team was talented, and everyone worked together to overcome difficulties. In critical moments, it was a great help, and you really like such a team. That's really a pity, said the various star clusters, but this month's understanding also gave him a full understanding of you. Gentle, kind, and never back down when faced with things. Ultraman possesses the image of Weiguang Zhengyu. Although not joining Mac, with Yu's personality, he will definitely rush to the forefront when encountering alien invasion. I also like to play bundled games with monsters at night, said Ultraman, who was idle and eavesdropped on the various star clusters. You, Feng Yuan, look, this planet is so beautiful. We must not let this beauty disappear. Of course, the next time the magma star man dares to appear, I will break his leg. You immediately agreed, considering this place as home. I will do my best, Captain. Feng Yuan nodded happily. From now on, the Earth will rely on you, sighed the star clusters. Bastard, why did 3 Ultramen come all at once? This completely messed up my plan. In a spaceship off Earth, the magma people angrily patted the table. It's all thanks to that Mirek Ultraman. This trap was clearly aimed at Severin Ultraman, and his appearance disrupted all of his plans. I must shatter your body into countless pieces, I must. The Magma Son thought of his friend who had been killed by Mirek Ultraman, and for a moment, he could no longer control his emotions, becoming powerless and furious. Is that all you have? A light laugh echoed into the ears of the magma people. Who? The magma star man stared nervously around, realizing that someone could lurk up close by his side without him noticing. Hee, in that case, I'm very disappointed, the eerie voice rang out again, and the magma people carefully explored the surroundings but found nothing. If you have the ability, don't hide it. What kind of hero is sneaking around? However, the other party clearly does not accept his approach. Haha, do you also deserve to say this sentence? How about we make a deal? The laughter gradually subsided, and the magma people had no time to think. A sharp blade was leaning against their neck. This is a blatant threat, not a transaction at all. As an elite warrior of magma, how could the magma people endure such humiliation and immediately angrily say, "What if I say no?" Click. One of the arms of the magma Astrian was severed, accompanied by a jet of blood, and the magma Astrian fell to the floor in pain. This is the consequence. Now, let's talk about it. So we have a Mac player in our club. President Omura was surprised to see Feng Yuan wearing a Mac uniform and said, "Feng Yuan, you are really amazing. So, won't Brother Feng Yuan be able to come to the club in the future?" Xiao Xiang held Feng Yuan's hand and asked hesitantly. "No, I will still be in the club when there are no tasks," Feng Yuan responded happily. "Yo, I heard from Feng Yuan that the captain of Mac sent you an invitation, but you refused, didn't you?" President Omura looked at Yo on the side and asked curiously. "Yeah, compared to Mac, I still prefer it here." As soon as he said this, everyone around him was stunned. Surprisingly, he gave up going to Mac just to stay at the club. Actually it's also because I don't like being constrained in life. The eyes around him looked over and felt embarrassed as he touched his head. Our club is really amazing, almost having 2 Mac players. It can be seen that President Omura is really happy, I suggest celebrating. What do you think? Okay. In this way, the people of Chengnan Sports Club celebrated this extraordinary day with a celebration activity. Most people performed small programs that they were good at. There are singers, dancers, and violinists. Everyone is enjoying themselves harmoniously, and the entire sports club in the south of the city is filled with a happy atmosphere. Don't you know how to play guitar? Do you want to give it a try? Feng Yuan suggested. Originally, brother, you can still play the guitar. Can brother you play a song for us to listen to? Xiao Xiang patted her hands eagerly. Kid, would you like a song? Even Mirek in the space of light couldn't help but coax. Alright, then play a song called, Creation Archangel. Is the title of the song that you haven't heard of at all original, brother you? Xiao Tong asked curiously. I guess so. With a passion for this piece in my past life, I can perform it proficiently even without the need for a musical score. Starting from 12,000 years ago, I fell in love with you. In the past 8,000 years, this relationship has become even more profound. In 1,200 years, I will also love you. Since the day I found out about you, the music in hell has never ceased. Wow, it's amazing. President Omura's mouth turned into an O shape, and this song is really beautiful. It's truly my earthly body, singing so beautifully. Mirek generously praised himself. This planet will definitely get better and better. The various star clusters sitting in the ward silently took out the auto glasses from their clothes, but unlike in the original drama, these auto glasses were not damaged. I should also take a good rest. A smile appeared on the corners of the star cluster's lips. Although the fracture was true, Feng Yuan arrived in time and did not leave any permanent injuries. After recovering from his injuries, he was able to transform as usual. However, in order to promote the growth of you and Feng Yuan, the various star clusters have decided to continue pretending to be lame so that they can rest well. It's not right, it's to urge the newcomers. Thinking of this, our amiable senior Saiwan comfortably lay on the hospital bed. Is this the life of retirement? I can now understand Taylor's feelings. Becoming a cripple is really amazing.